All right, guys, welcome back to another episode Invest in Your Future. I'm your host, Coach Kenny, your real estate investor, entrepreneur. Listen, today we are back with another episode. Like I told you, we're going to a six-part series on specifically money, the money game. If you guys missed the last episode, check it out. It's on my Instagram. It's also on my every podcast in terms of Investing in Your Future podcast. Also, you can check it out on Facebook at Coach Kenny. Check it out. The previous episode was really the first one to really talk about how money is a game and how people don't know the game that they're playing, and kind of learn a little bit about what you really should focus on when it comes to learning the money game. So without further ado, let's get back into it. If you guys have questions or comments, please leave them down below, or make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you also click the link below to get you some free stuff to you. And also, if you want to get that one-on-one coaching with Coach Kenny, reach out to us. We could get the link down low and be able to help you guys in terms of your individual plans to be able to help you get your money right. Listen, first of all, let me make sure, disclaimer, I am not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a financial advisor. All I am is an entrepreneur who has really worked hard. I have multiple businesses right now. I have 4 businesses right now. We have a coaching business. We have a virtual assistant business. We have a real estate business. We also have a home care business. And all of them are doing well. And the whole point is, the reason I'm able to do that is because I learned the money game. I learned the financials on how to deal with money, and how I was able to do that was being able to hang around people who have lots of money. Pretty much that simple. So today, let's talk about the rules of money. All right, the rules of money. All right. Remember, we talked about first what the money game is. Now I'll talk about the rules of money. So I got a question from actually one of my students who saw the live last week and said, Coach Kenny, could you go into a little more details in terms of the rules of money, which I was going to talk about regardless, but also discuss what money is, because a lot of people don't get taught what money is. So in simple definition, all right, we go into all this monetary policy stuff like that. We don't want to get that complicated. We want to keep it very, very basic and very simple. All right. Money is an exchange of value. An exchange of value. So money is an exchange of value. I have a valuable currency in my pocket. Well, I don't have it on me right now, but I have a valuable piece of paper, and it's worth something to somebody else in terms of it has a value, unit. It could be 1, 5, 10, 100. And that value is worth something to somebody else. So if I want to buy, let's say, example, a meal, a KFC meal, my money is worth the amount of $5 worth of chicken. So an exchange of value, it's a medium exchange of ways to exchange and make a purchase, or make some kind of exchange in terms of value. So the chicken's valuable to me, the money's valuable to the other person. We exchange, and I get my goods, and he gets his currency in his pocket to be able to expend it and blow his business up and do things like that. All right. So an exchange, it's a medium exchange of value. So it's a way people exchange value. It's a way. That's all it is. Before money, people used to barter. All right. People used to barter and say, hey, listen, I'll give you 2 cows for 100 chickens, or I'll give you a sheep for, for whatever. That's the whole point. Before, it used to be bartering, and then it became actual pieces of currency. Used to be shells. Actually, I think it used to be shells. It used to be coins. Then it used to be gold, silver. Then it became currency that we currently deal with. So wherever you live, currently you have a currency that you deal with. If it's the yen, if it's the euro, if it's the peso, if it's the dollar, that's what you currently use to exchange value, and as a medium way of making the purchases. I want you guys to take notes on this. When you are understanding money, understand that there's certain rules that follow money. If you don't follow these rules, you're always going to be broke. It's that simple. So now, the number one rule is understand that money is actually energy. All right, money is actually energy. Because think of it like this: whenever I have a certain amount of money, I had to expend some kind of energy to be able to get that money. Whenever I pay somebody, I'm paying for their energy to expend to get whatever I want from that. So if the person, let's go back to the KFC example, somebody had to grow the chicken, raise the chicken, cut the chicken, cook the chicken, fry it, serve it to me. That's all energy that took, and I exchanged that energy with the money that I had. So understand, money is energy. So anytime you go work for somebody, you're actually expending your energy, your calories, your energy to get that money and get to do whatever you want with it. All right, so understand money is energy. Once you understand that, it's actually going to really be easy for you to really make money, to be honest. All right, so that's the first rule. Understand money is energy, and how you're able to um, understand this in a better way is reverse it. So if I want to make more money, I have to expend more energy, right? Either working more jobs, more hours, or I can reverse it and say, okay, what do other people need that they will pay me to be able to supply my energy or my skill set? All right. So if it's a business, if it's money, I'm trying to make in terms of business. Well, listen, okay, I have to supply a service or a product to that person. That product's going to cost me energy. And I'm going to make a profit off that person by charging them a certain percentage, a certain amount of money. All right. That's how you got to think about it, especially when it comes to businesses. All right. Understand money's energy. Number one, rule number one, money's energy. Rule number two, what gets measured gets managed. What gets measured gets managed. So when you think about money, second rule is it has to be measured. That's the only way you know if you are in the lower class, middle class, high class, high net worth, 1%. Now, if you guys know, to be in the top 1% in the world, all you have to make is 400 something $1,000 a year. That's it. Sorry, in the United States. To be in the top 1%, make 400,000. In the world, it's a lot lower. All right, because we're dealing with we're dealing with people who are making $1 a day, so it's a lot lower. But in the United States, it's about 400 something $1,000 to be in the top 1%. When you become that, you are actually considered a person who has a high net worth individual. They call it high net worth individual, which means you have a high net worth. So understand that so the way you understand money is you got to learn, hey, listen, in order to understand money correctly, I need to be able to measure it. I need to measure it where I am currently. What am I making currently? Where am I compared to my peers? All right. Now, I never say compare yourself, but I always want to know where you are currently standing. And this comes down to almost anything when it comes to money. It could be your credit. Are you in the top 5%? Are you in the top 20%? Are you below the top? You want to figure out where am I? And the way you do that is measure. You measure where you are. So you find out, okay, this job that I'm doing right now, what's the current pay rate for this money that I'm supposed to get paid? What's my current pay? What am I supposed to be getting paid for this? You're measuring, all right? Measuring to what the current market is saying. If you're getting paid $50,000 a year, you're supposed to get paid $70,000 a year. That means the measurement is you're underpaid. You need to figure out a way to make sure you get that money up or above that level of where you're supposed to be getting paid. A lot of people are getting underpaid and they don't understand that. So understand, what gets measured gets managed. So you need to figure out how much you're making per hour, ideally, per day, per week, per month, per year. Measure it, see where you are, and compare yourself in that specific job market where you currently are. If you're not getting paid high enough, most likely you're missing a couple of things. Most likely a skill. If you are getting paid $12 an hour, it means you have a low skill level. And that low skill level is going to not make you that much money. If you're getting paid $1,000 a day or $1,000 an hour, it means your skill level is a high level skill. All right. So this is how you measure yourself and see. Remember, what gets measured get managed. That's rule number 2 and 1. All right. Rule number 3. Rule number 3 is spend less than you earn. It doesn't matter how much money you make. You can make $100,000 a day, but if you spend $101,000 a day, you'll always be broke. So rule number 3 is always spend less than you make. It's a fact in life. Anytime you have a certain amount of resource, if you overspend it, you'll not have enough tomorrow. So if you have, let's say, bread in your fridge, you eat all the bread, you're not gonna have any bread tomorrow. Same thing with money. If you spend all your money today, you're not gonna have any money tomorrow. So always spend less than you always make. It's actually a fact in terms of creating wealth and creating sustenance for your life. Always spend less than you make. All right. Or you can reverse and say, I always save 10, 20, 30%, whatever, of my income on the side, so I never spend more than I make. For me, I would suggest, listen, I coach my people to tell them, listen, save 50% of what you make. Save 50% of what you make. You know why? Because they tell you save 10%, save 5%, but that's not gonna do anything for you. Save 50% of what you make. I don't care if you make $6 an hour, if you make $160 an hour. Save 50% of what you make after taxes. Save 50%. You're gonna have a better life than 80% of people around you. All right, so say 50%. Fourth rule of money is you have to plan. All right, you have to have a 1 year plan, a 5 year plan, 10 year plan, a 20 year plan. This sounds boring, but this is a fact of life. If you want to make money, you want to keep money, you have to have a plan. All right. There was a saying, I think Abraham Lincoln said, listen, if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. So that's simple. All right. So have a plan. Have a plan for your money. Are you planning on getting in real estate? Are you planning on getting in crypto? Are you planning on getting in some stocks? Are you planning on getting some ETFs? Are you planning on starting a business? Are you planning on um, investing with other people's businesses? Are you planning on buying businesses? Are you planning on investing overseas? Are you planning on doing currency exchange or trading? Like whatever, you should have a plan. You should have a plan of that money that you're doing with it. So have a 1 year plan, have a 5 year plan. It doesn't have to be a long page. It could be a 4 or 5 page sentences. 10 year plan, a 20 year plan. And every single time you reevaluate. So this year's almost over. So what I would suggest is you should have a plan by January. It should be close to that plan, achieving that plan now, because you only have about 3 months left in this year. If you don't have a plan or you didn't plan this year, most likely you're going to be in the same place you were last year. It's that simple. So have a plan. Have a plan of what kind of money you want to make. What are you going to do with the money that you have, that you're going to try to make? Where are you going to store it? Where are you going to keep it? How are you going to keep track of it? How are you going to measure it? Rule number 2, how you measure it. And also how you're going to improve it. Those kind of things you should put in your plan. What kind of money I'm going to make, what am I going to do with it, how am I going to increase it, also where I'm going to keep it, where I'm going to keep my money. All right, those should be your plans for 1, 5, 10, and 20 years. Simple concept, but it helps you become a master at this money game. All right. Next, we have rule number 5 here. When you are thinking about money, there could be hundreds of rules, but I want to kind of keep it very simple in terms of this specific episode. One of the worst things that can really happen, and this happens to everyone, and I think it happens to you when you're younger, and it happens to every single person. People take it on when they're older, but a lot of people do it when they're younger. It's called impulse buys. All right, impulse buys. When you want to learn the money game, you have to learn how to control your impulses, control your urges, control your spending. Control your spending. And I have a video. You guys should check it out on YouTube at Coach Kenny. I was coaching. I was doing a seminar. I believe I was doing a conference. And one of the best ways to think about it is I want to make sure people remember what to do with their money. So I make money. I save money. I invest money. All right. If you guys need to write that down, write it down. I make money. I save money. I invest money. There's nothing in there talking about spending. Nothing in there talking about spending. All right. So you have to avoid impulse purchases. Impulse purchases are, oh, there's a sale for this TV. It's usually $5.99, miles $3.99. I'm saving $200. No, you're spending $300. That's what you're doing. You're not saving that money. Understand that that's changing the way you think. Every time you get money, every time you receive some kind of check, dividend, whatever it is, you have to think, I make money, I save money, I invest money. But then you ask, hey, Coach Kenny, when can I pay my bills? How can I live? How can I ball out and buy a Lamborghini, all this other stuff? Yes, you can do that. But the only way you do that first is by first you make the money, you save the money, and you invest the money. Once the investments start bringing in some money, that's the money that you spend on all the other stuff you want to buy. That's the stuff you could buy on impulse. That money right there, because that money will continuously bring into your life because you don't have to work for it. This formula is very, very important if you want to learn the money game and master it. You never, ever, ever spend earned money. Never spend earned money. You spend money that you receive off your investments. That's the money you earn. That's the money you want to spend without having to worry about it. But if you always spend your earned money, you always have to go back and earn more money to go spend again. So understand, most people, what they do with their money is they get money and spend money, and then they save what's left over. That's backwards. That's why most people are broke and living check to check and don't have $400 to their names. You have to change that, the way you think about money. I make money, I save money, and I invest money. All right. We'll talk about investing later, but the whole point is figure out how you can definitely, if you need to print that out and put it in your window, in your car, at your office, wherever. I make money, I save money, I invest money. If you do those things, you'll always win at the money game. You don't have to be the smartest guy. You don't have to be Warren Buffett. You don't have to invest in the latest stock. You don't even have to own a business. You can work a 9 to 5, but as long as you always make money, save money, invest money continuously for a long period of time, you'll be very, very well off. All right. Now we have tactics to be able to help you accelerate the money, accelerate the growth of money. But if you don't have any money to invest into a business, to invest in real estate, to investing in stocks, to invest in buying businesses or investing in part businesses, you can never achieve that freedom to be able to be free with money. All right, because you'll always be on the hamster wheel of going to earn more money to survive. So you understand, from now on, every single dollar you get, if you got it from a job, save that money, invest it in something that's going to bring you more income, and then that's the money that you could spend frivolously on whatever you want. And the interesting part, I went to a Ferrari dealership, I think like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, just to car shop and look around. And that's not to brag or anything, just it's what I like to do. I look at cars and look and see what I want to buy. So I went to the agent and I said, hey, listen, the car salesman, I said, listen, who are the most people who buy these cars? Who are the most people that buy Ferraris and Lamborghinis and everything like that? He said, to be honest, it's not people who went to college. It's not the smartest people. It's not, the people working a job. Let me repeat that. It's not the most educated. It's not the most brilliant. It's not people working a job, which means they don't earn wages. He said most people that come in are business owners. Business owners, the majority who buy Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Tesla, all these nice expensive cars. You wonder how they're able to do that? Because they're in the top 10% in their area in terms of income, in terms of what they do. And the way they do that is by a business. And the way you run a business, is the same way I teach people. I make money, save money, invest money. And most of those people are investing money in that business. All right. That's how people are becoming successful and being able to buy these mansions and Ferraris and Lamborghinis, because they have that method. Because the business, when you become a business owner, you have to change your mindset on how you think about money. You have to think about, I need to make money. How to make money? I need to sell my product. I need to sell my service. Okay, what happens after that? I just save my money to be able to buy more product, to buy people as labor. Remember, money's energy, right? So when I pay somebody $50 or $100, I'm buying their energy to go do more work for me, in turn to make more money for me, in order to save more money, in turn to invest more money. And then once the business starts kicking off dividends for me, because I'm the business owner, dividends, then I can spend that money on Ferraris and Lamborghinis, all the other stuff, because my money is continuously coming in. All right. So understand that concept. We need to get away from the basic mindset of save 10%, save 20%. No, save 50% of your money. You made the money, you save 50% of it. Now you invest it. You figure out where you're going to invest it and get a good return. And we'll talk about that probably most likely next week, which is, we call them the players of the money game. The players, which are the investors and the business owners. These are people that are players in the money game that you need to understand how to become one. All right. So these are the rules of money I told you guys about. All right. Understand this. We understand what money is. Money's energy. Money stored value. All right. Number two, what gets measured gets managed. What gets measured gets managed. If I don't know what money coming in, I don't know what's going on with it, I can never control it, and I can never work on improving it. All right. Rule number three, never spend more than I make. I never eat all my food today. I have to save some for tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Number four, have a plan, a 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, and 20-year plan on what I'm going to do with my money, how I'm going to make more money, how I'm going to improve it, where I'm going to store it. All right. And also avoid purchases of impulse. Being able to do that, you will be a master and you'll be on the path to becoming a master with the money game. All right. It's that simple. It's not that complicated. I can go into more details of each one, but I don't want to make these episodes too long, because I want to make sure you guys get the information, implement it, and then we go back next week and add more layers to the game. All right. It's a 6-part series, the money game. The first part was about what is the money game, what everyone's a player in the money game. Now this week was all about the rules of money. All right. The rules of money and how to really implement them in your life. Next week, we'll talk about the players of the money game. You are a player in the money game. You might just be losing, or you might be on the sideline and not know what the rules are. So once you know the rules, now you know the rules. Now you understand where the players are and how to play correctly. All right, how to play the game correctly. All right. So guys, thanks again for joining me on this episode. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. There's going to be a link to my link tree to be able to sign up if you want to get some coaching, one-on-one coaching with Coach Kenny. We can definitely help you get your plan together. Also help you look at your finances to get you kind of situated to help you turn things around. If you're dealing with issues like that, please contact us. If you're on YouTube, or if you're on Instagram, anywhere like that, please like, please follow. Please tell your friends about it. We're trying to do this every Sunday to be able to help you guys get your money game up, to be able to improve yourself. Because listen, I was in a situation where I was broke. I was so broke it wasn't even funny. I remember I used to order a dollar menu from McDonald's and feel like I was a king. I've not eaten McDonald's in about 8 years now, maybe, yeah, 9 years. All right, that's what happens when things change for you and turn your money game. You know, we don't we don't focus on the cheap stuff anymore. You know, we focus on high level stuff because you're able to get that by being able to change your money mindset on it, change your money game, change your money outcome, change your whole money blueprint. All right, change your whole money blueprint. It's very, very important to do that for you, for yourself, for your kids, for your family. All right. So, guys, if you have any questions, comments, like I said, leave them below, and we'll continue next week. 9 p.m. Sundays, we're here to be able to help you guys improve your money game. We're going to start, once we finish the series, we have a list of guests coming in who are going to be also helping you guys improve, business owners, real estate investors, stock people. I have some guys who are coming in who are can help you really improve even spiritually, mentally, mindset. All these things are going to help you change the way you think and change your outcome, because it starts with the mind. Once the mind's set, then the actions will follow. Once the actions follow, then you start seeing the results. That's what happened with me. It doesn't happen overnight, but the whole point is stay consistent with it. Take the action, take the steps. All right, take the implementation seriously enough. Don't just say, "Oh, wow, that's good information," and just go back to your normal life. No, go back and actually look at your finances, cut your expenses in half, and start seeing a difference in your life from the information that you receive. All right, guys. If you have any questions, like I said, leave them below. Click the link below. Follow, like, subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys at the top.